There was a soldier. There was a commander. There was a conqueror. This is Khalid bin Walid radiallahu anhu.
Khalid bin al-Walid, later known as the Sword of Allah, was born around 592 AD in Mecca, in present-day Saudi Arabia. His father, al-Walid ibn al-Mughira, was a prominent leader of the Quraysh tribe, a tribe well known for its power and wealth. Khalid grew up in a family that was highly respected in Mecca. His family enjoyed a privileged life, and he was trained in skills necessary for a warrior from a young age. From his early years, Khalid excelled in archery, horseback riding, and swordsmanship. His physical strength and sharp mind set him apart, and he quickly developed a reputation for being fearless in battle. The deserts of Arabia were tough, and only those who were strong, skilled, and smart could survive. Khalid thrived in this environment, becoming one of the most skilled fighters among the Quraysh. His name was known far and wide for his abilities. At the time of Khalid's early adulthood, a new religion was emerging in Mecca. This religion, Islam, was spreading rapidly and was led by the Prophet Muhammad, PBUH. Many people in Mecca were concerned about the rise of Islam because it challenged their traditional beliefs. Khalid's family was among the most influential opponents of this new faith. They did not want to lose their power and control, so they fought against the Muslims. Khalid himself became one of the leading opponents of Islam. In 625 AD, during the Battle of Uhud, Khalid led the cavalry of the Quraysh army against the Muslims. He noticed a weakness in the Muslim forces, which allowed him to launch a surprise attack, resulting in a painful defeat for the Muslims. His tactical skills during this battle were praised by all. Despite his success in this battle, Khalid's opposition to Islam was not meant to last forever. Over time, Khalid began to question the truth of his opposition to Islam. He saw the growing strength of the Muslim community and their unity. Despite all the battles, the Muslims remained strong, and their message continued to spread. This caused Khalid to reflect on his beliefs and wonder if he was on the wrong side of history. In 629 AD, Khalid made the life-changing decision to embrace Islam. His journey to Islam was not sudden, but rather the result of deep thinking and reflection. Khalid traveled to Medina to meet the Prophet Muhammad PBUH and express his desire to join the Muslim community. The Prophet welcomed him warmly and gave him the title Saifullah, or Sword of Allah. This marked the beginning of a new chapter in Khalid's life, where he would become one of the greatest military leaders in Islamic history. After accepting Islam, Khalid was quickly put to the test in battle. His first major test came during the Battle of Mu'tah in 629 AD. This battle took place near modern-day Jordan and was fought against the Byzantine Empire, one of the most powerful empires of the time. The Muslim army was small, numbering around 3,000, compared to the massive Byzantine army, which had over 100,000 soldiers. Khalid was not the original leader of the Muslim army in this battle. He took command after the first 3 commanders were killed in action. Despite being outnumbered, Khalid used his military skills to lead the Muslim forces to safety. He reorganized the army, used clever tactics, and successfully managed a retreat that saved countless lives. This was considered a victory under the circumstances, and it was during this battle that Khalid earned his famous title, the Sword of Allah. After the death of the Prophet Muhammad, PBUH, many tribes in Arabia rebelled against the new Islamic State. These rebellions were known as the Ridda Wars or the Wars of Apostasy. The first Caliph Abu Bakr called upon Khalid to lead the Muslim army in these wars. The mission was clear: to unify Arabia under Islam and defeat the tribes that had turned against the Muslim state. Khalid showed his remarkable military genius in the Ridda Wars. He led a series of campaigns against rebellious tribes, and one by one they were brought back into the fold of Islam. His victories were swift and decisive. Khalid's leadership during the Ridda Wars played a crucial role in stabilizing the Arabian Peninsula and ensuring that Islam would continue to grow as a unified force. With the Arabian Peninsula unified, Khalid's attention turned to the larger empires that bordered the Muslim state, the Persian Empire to the east and the Byzantine Empire to the west. The Muslim army, under Khalid's command, first marched into Iraq, which was part of the Persian Empire at the time. Despite being heavily outnumbered, Khalid achieved stunning victories. One of the most significant battles during this campaign was the Battle of Chains in 633 AD. The Persian forces, confident in their numbers and power, were shocked by the speed and strategy of Khalid's army. In a swift and decisive battle, Khalid crushed the Persian forces, securing the region for the Muslims. Khalid continued his campaign, winning battle after battle against the Persians. His victories in Iraq opened the door for further Muslim expansion, and the once mighty Persian Empire began to crumble. While Khalid was securing Iraq, another major front was opening against the Byzantine Empire in Syria. In 636 AD, Khalid was called upon to lead the Muslim forces in one of the most significant battles in early Islamic history, the Battle of Yarmouk. The Byzantines were determined to stop the expansion of Islam, and they assembled a massive army to defeat the Muslims. The battle lasted 6 days and was fought in the harsh desert terrain near the Yarmouk River. Khalid's tactical brilliance was on full display. He used the geography to his advantage and executed precise maneuvers that confused and demoralized the Byzantine army. In the end, the Byzantines suffered a crushing defeat, and Syria came under Muslim control. The victory at Yarmouk was a turning point in Islamic history. It marked the beginning of the end for Byzantine control in the region and opened the way for further Muslim expansion into the Mediterranean and beyond. Khalid's name became legendary as a military leader who could win against seemingly impossible odds. Despite his incredible success on the battlefield, Khalid's military career came to an unexpected end. When Caliph Umar succeeded Abu Bakr as the leader of the Muslim community, he made the decision to remove Khalid from his position as commander. This was not because of any failure on Khalid's part, but because Umar was concerned that people were beginning to see Khalid as the reason for their victories, rather than attributing the success to Allah. Khalid accepted the decision with humility. He did not rebel or protest, even though he could have used his power and influence to challenge the Caliph. Instead, Khalid continued to serve the Muslim community in whatever way he could, always remaining loyal to Islam and its leaders. After his dismissal, Khalid lived a quiet life in Homs, Syria. He remained a respected figure in the Muslim community, and many sought his advice and wisdom. Khalid died in 642 AD at the age of around 50. Despite living most of his life as a warrior, he passed away peacefully in his bed, lamenting that he had never fallen in battle, despite fighting in over 100 battles. Khalid's legacy is one of courage, skill, and loyalty. He is remembered as one of the greatest military commanders in history, not just in the Muslim world, but globally. His tactics are still studied in military academies today, and his role in spreading Islam through his military victories has left an indelible mark on history. Khalid bin Walid's life was one of transformation, from a fierce opponent of Islam to its most successful military commander. His story is not just about war and conquest, but about faith, loyalty, and the willingness to put the greater good above personal ambition. Khalid's life teaches us that true greatness lies in serving a higher cause, and that the strength of one's faith can lead to extraordinary achievements. His legacy as the sword of Allah continues to inspire Muslims and non-Muslims alike to this day.
Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe.